Okay, Aries. I'm really excited to do this because I am also an Aries, Aries Sun and Aries Moon. So let's see what we've got going on for us in June. Ah, that's great. So for the month of June, current situation is the King of Wands. Fire sign. This is the dominant male fire energy. This is us, Aries. I mean, hold on, look, check it out in the background. Like that fire is roaring. I love it. This is the energy that we're working with. This is who we are, and this is what we're feeling in the month of June. It is this content energy that we know who we are, right? Look at how he's kind of just smiling. He's looking at that wand because that's the instrument that he's using as a medium to put his energy out into the world, right? So his fire, his energy, his passion is within, but the wand is what helps him focus it and send it out into the world. It's an extension of who he is. And that's why he's looking at it with such affection. So I feel like this is us, Aries. I feel like there's something going on in our lives where we each are in this space where we are this content and strong feeling in knowing who we are this month. I feel like we've taken a big step in becoming closer to our true selves. And whatever so for the King of Wands, this wand here is it's his medium of putting his energy and who he is into the world. All right. So for you, this could be whatever it is, whatever way you use to bring out your passion, your ambition, your drive, that divine spark within you. For you, it could be, a hobby that you are involved in. It could be a nonprofit that you're getting off the ground or working with. It could be, this website. It's whatever your passion is, whatever makes you smile and feel that sunshine, from within. And that's the energy that we're working with in June. I love it. What a great card to start out with. I love it. Okay. Challenging or helpful energy. This is for sure helpful energy. Here we've got the Six of Athenes. Okay. So in this card, I love this card because it's always very comforting kind of a card. This person here is crossing over from these troubled kind of stormy waters into more still waters. They're much calmer. And it even kind of seems like maybe the shore wasn't very far. Maybe it wasn't a long distance. It could have been a short journey for you. But rest assured, the month of June is going to be much more calm for you than it has been. There's going to be a lot more peace of mind, which is maybe why this King of Wands here has just got that, like comfortable grin on his face. Okay. So things are going to be, a little bit more peaceful for you, a little bit more relaxed. That's not to say that the pace itself won't be hectic, but this is more of like a mental, relaxation. So whatever your concerns were in May, I feel like in June, they're going to steady out a little bit. Things are going to be a little bit more easier for you to navigate. Okay. So, the root of the situation, what's at your feet? The Knight of Chalices. So here we have this young knight. And I love this deck because they each kind of have their own little story that help really interpret the cards. They're kind of intuitive, while holding true to the meanings, I think, of the original Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. So look at this knight. He is different in that he is going forth, holding his cup out for receiving. Okay? So this is you Aries. This is us, I guess I should say. So I feel like there is this energy where you've kind of been hoping to receive something, something that would give you a little bit more emotional fulfillment. Maybe you were going forth out into the world, eager for a new job, eager for a new relationship, something. But that's what this knight is doing. He is just going forth, offering himself up full of optimism and knowing that there is something that is good to be had, right? He's not like negative. He's not pessimistic looking. He is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, going forth and just ready with open arms and knowing that he is worthy of receiving. So I feel like at the base of your situation might have come this realization internally, because a lot of us struggle with this, is that we are worthy of receiving, right? So good job, because in today's fast-paced society, I know that it's a very difficult mentality to kind of get our heads wrapped around, or even more so our soul wrapped around, because we're so used to taking care of ourselves and our loved ones that it's hard to think that we're actually worthy of being taken care of and receiving. Okay, and now the immediate past, and this is still having some effect on what is going on currently. So this might have been your situation in May or whenever it was prior to you watching this video. It's the Three of Athames. Now you can see this woman is going into like this dilapidated house. It's got the grass roof where, it's dried out. Some of it's kind of green. There's like, it's overgrown. And she's just kind of like, do I have to go in there? But that's her home. So the immediate past was that you probably had a decision, an agonizing decision that you had to make, right? And I'm assuming that you've made it because, the present situation is this confident, strong King of Wands. But the reason we go into our past is because it affects who we are today. So there are probably still some lingering feelings regarding this situation, regarding whatever choice it was that you made. Now you might have made the choice to make the best of the situation, knowing that you could fix this up. You have what it takes to take a crappy situation and, make it better. Or maybe some of you thought, you know what? It's time to cut sling load. That's what we said in the army. Time to cut your losses and just go find somewhere better. Find something that's more, easier to work with. Something that provided you better shelter, right? So although this is probably your immediate past, there are still some lingering effects that are, affecting you today. Maybe you're wondering, did I make the right decision? Did I make the right choice? Whatever it is, you are the King of Wands, super happy, hanging out by the fire, toasty warm, confident in who you are. But again, that helpful energy, it's probably, knowing that you left this situation right there. Okay, your crowning thoughts, like what's going on in your head about your current situation for the month of June? Yeah, here we go. Okay, this is the Ten of Athames. And I love this card mostly just because it's like she's got a really cute witch's hat on. But so like I was just saying, our past affects us because there's always some sort of lingering effects, right? And this is your crowning thoughts. This is what's going on in your head. There is a sense of loss. So whatever choice you made, there is still some sort of sadness. There's a sense of loss. Maybe, you loved this, quote unquote, dilapidated old house, there were memories there, whatever your house was. For each of us, it's going to be different. For some people, it might have been, a career that you absolutely had a hard time leaving. Maybe it was a neighborhood you didn't want to leave. Maybe it was relationships. Like maybe you realized you were in codependent relationships and you just had to cut it off for your best interest as well as that of the other party, right? It doesn't mean that you don't care about them necessarily, but there is that sense of loss, and that's being shown here. However, what she's got in her little hand right here, I don't know if you can see it. That's a mandrake root, which is very magical. It's very healing. So even though she's kind of sad and there's a sense of loss, she knows what she needs to do, right? To kind of help heal her wounds. And with this being the 10, number 10 is often indicative of the end of not only like a regular cycle, but the end of a karmic cycle. So maybe in your life, you've been faced with this decision to stay or go numerous times, but you made the choice now. Whatever choice you made was the right choice for you because you've gotten yourself out of that cycle. Okay? Which is great, even though it hurts. Okay, upcoming in your immediate future. Now, again, this is for the whole month of, June. So whenever you watch this video, it's the right time for you. Okay, and it's all relevant. So, oh, look at that. Oh, this is a great and wonderful card. Aries, I'm really happy again because this reading is just as much for me as it is for you. And so far, this looks like a really great reading. So the Two of Chalices, they say is the actual true lover's card in the tarot. And this is always about a soulmate relationship. So soulmates don't necessarily have to be in love, in a romantic love, but they can be. But this is saying that coming up ahead, probably to help heal those wounds. And because you are in a different mental space, there is a soulmate relationship that is coming. For some of you, that could be a romantic relationship like these two who are clearly in love, right? For others, it could be a relationship in a business. It could be, a new partnership. It could be a new friend. But whatever your particular situation, this is going to be a relationship that is meant to help you grow and to help you find emotional fulfillment. Okay, that's what the chalices are. Great reading so far. Okay, now this next card is your attitude about the situation. And I love to say, well, the reason we need to know our attitudes in the readings, even though it's pretty, obvious, don't I know my own attitude? Well, sometimes there is a subconscious aspect to it. And that's why it's good to know what our attitude towards it. Because on an emotional level, whatever we're putting out into the universe subconsciously is what we're getting back. And sometimes we question why certain things keep happening, right? Oh, again, what a great reading. Okay, so our attitude, your attitude, Aries, about your whole situation is it seems to be very financially focused right now, right? So in June, I feel like your focus, your attitude about whatever this situation is very much about your financial resources. It's about your home, any property or real estate, any business ventures. It's very much about the tangible, which is what the pentacles represent, right? The Queen is the dominant female energy of this earthy, the earthy sign, right? So it's the element. So you are feeling very much comfortable in what you want. I'm taking this to mean. This is an energy. And let me say for a second that I don't really read court cards as individuals or people. I just don't think it's very practical because if I were to say, oh, hey, this is somebody that you know, how many of us are going to meet somebody and be like, excuse me, nice to meet you. What sign are you, right? This isn't the 70s anymore when I think people used to do that. So I prefer to say that this is an energy as opposed to a person specifically coming into your life. And then if you recognize the energy, good for you. So again, this is your attitude, which is great because this emotion that is evoked by the card is what you are putting out into the universe, right? This is what you're putting out and this is what you're going to get back. That's the law of attraction. So you are putting out that you are comfortable and that you have a healthy relationship with money. And a lot of us don't. A lot of us are either slaves to it or we don't want to have anything to do with it. But I feel like the way this card is, depicted and this being in the place of your attitude, there's a very healthy relationship. You have come to respect what money and financial resources, can do for you. And as long as there is a balance there, it's okay. It's great. And things will continue to come to you. Okay, so this is the energies that are around you. So these would be energies of loved ones, close friends, people that are in your life that you tend to see very, very frequently. Parents, coworkers, people that you're close to. Oh, okay. So the energies of, that are around you. This is a card about balance, right? You're kind of learning to balance here. It could be balancing resources. It could be somebody that's maybe got 2 jobs. Maybe this is somebody who is trying to balance a full-time job while getting their passion, their new website up and running. And the energy around you is that there is some... So generally this is a really good card because it's about having to balance balancing priorities while learning a new skill. And the fox is usually indicative of, cunningness, sometimes deception. But I kind of feel like maybe the energy is that you're balancing, like this is you, Aries, balancing the priorities in your life. And somebody I feel like is kind of watching you. I feel like someone's watching you and they maybe don't have your best interest at heart. So I want to caveat that with one thing because I don't want people to get scared. A lot of times, we expect our parents and our loved ones, our brothers, our sisters, our spouses to have our best interest at heart, right? So maybe you're thinking, hey, honey, I'm thinking I want to be a basket weaver, right? As my new career. And maybe that's your true calling. Maybe that is your wand, right? Is basket weaving. That's how you, the King of Wands, Aries, are going to share your passion, share that divine spark through basket weaving. You're going to share that with the world, right? And that's what's your personal truth. However, I feel like while you're juggling these things in your life and learning this new skill, somebody who might even think that they have your best interest at heart might not necessarily have your best interest at heart, right? Sometimes our parents think they do, but they don't because they don't know what our true purpose is. Our spouses, our loved ones, those that are closest to us, they might support us, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to get is that, they don't necessarily have our best interest at heart because they don't necessarily know what is best for us. We are the only ones that know what is truly best for us, right? Others are sometimes clouded by their fear for our safety, our well-being, right? So they would prefer us to do what they would prefer so that they have peace of mind, so that they're not worried about us. But that's not our road. That's not our path. But see here, the sun is shining, right? So things are going to work out. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just saying that, keep in mind that when you solicit advice from friends or close ones, just keep in mind that they're not in your shoes, right? And while they might be extremely well-meaning, and I'm sure they love you, but they're not in your shoes. And they don't know what your path is. Only you do. So just keep that in mind. And these are the energies, again, that are near you, surrounding you. Okay, this next card is what you need to not neglect, right? So these are hidden energies, hidden things that you're not necessarily aware of, but that you should pay attention to. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so excited. What a great reading. I'm so excited for June. This is great. The Ace of Athames. Who doesn't love to see an ace in a reading, right? Hidden energies. What better card? New beginnings, right? New ideas, blessings, fresh starts. Keeping in mind that the Athame is I'm getting a glare. It's the element of air, which rules communication and logic and, your thoughts and, did I say intellect? And ideas, right? Whenever I see this card, I usually think of, was it the Sword in the Stone, that cartoon, the Disney cartoon, when that young King Arthur pulls that sword out of the rock and he's just, got it up in the air. That's what I feel whenever I see this card, right? It's like the sun is shining, it's shining on this. And it's almost like you can hear the angels singing as the clouds part and there's sun coming through, right? That's the energy of this. And I absolutely love this card. So for Aries in June, if hidden energy is blessings and new beginnings and, new ways of communicating your thoughts and, what a great card, right? I'll take it. And then, my friends, the final card, which is the overall outcome for June. Oh, the Crone. What a great card, right? In the original Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, this is the card of strength. I love this card. So, can you see it? This card, obviously, it's about strength, right? But what we have here is this crone who has been through life, very wise, very full of experience, walking side by side with this beautiful, magnificent lion. Look at this beautiful, full mane that this lion has, okay? They're walking together as one. They're in step. They understand each other. If anybody out there watching this has ever had a dog and knows what it's like to take a dog out on a walk, those dogs are constantly pulling, right? Pulling on the leash. It takes a very well-trained dog and a sort of, if you see Cesar Millan, some sort of inner connection, almost an instinctual, spiritual connection between you and the dog, and in this case, the crone and the lion, to walk in step, right? It takes that inner strength and kind of an understanding between the two. So it's understanding your own physical strength, understanding the side of you, Aries, that can be intimidating to others, and not being afraid of it, but embracing it, right? I kind of feel especially for Aries, this is kind of our dual nature sometimes. There is this really domineering, very aggressive, very proud, confident side of us that people can be very scared of, right? Which is the lion. And then the other side of us, sometimes when we try to compensate for this strength, is people might tend to see you as an elderly woman, right? And they might take you for granted and think that you're, weak, frail, old, right? So I feel this is actually the two parts of you, and you are going to achieve, excuse me if I'm not using this word right, but a symbiotic relationship between those two parts of you, right? You're going to be able to find that balance where you aren't hiding your inner lion and you are also embracing your experience and your wisdom to become